Hey, welcome to my channel. I goofed on my original video. The mic wasn't working. I thought the mic was working. I didn't over bother to listen to it because I assumed otherwise. Shouldn't have, but reality is I try to treat it like a live thing basically. So there's no editing and whatnot basically from that aspect. In any case, just to show basically it's a case where I was trying to reiterate. I was trying to enjoy and relish in the moment. That's why I didn't really talk about it right after the game or the series for that matter. I'd rather wait the following day because the fact of the matter is what the Knicks did was pretty much impressive, massive impressive, especially against the Philadelphia 76ers. That's a surprise that I did not think that would actually happen so quickly. I will say this, though. It was a case where with the Knicks basically winning against the 76ers, I don't know if it was because Embiid himself was not available, not 100%. Paul George was not playing his capabilities, but look for Philadelphia next year to bolster up a little bit. Because I will say this: Josh Hart's statement after the game, where basically he thought Philadelphia was a sports town, and I guess he isn't. Don't be surprised now next year Philadelphia 76ers start coming after the Knicks, especially the Sixers fans. And I wouldn't be surprised for any Philadelphia Phillies fans, Eagles fans, as well as Flyers fans going after all the New York teams at that point as well too. What Hart said, if I'm a New Yorker and someone said that about a New York team outside of the, even if it was like I'm a Mets fan, they were saying something about the Yankees as New Yorkers not being a sports town. I, as a New Yorker, would take high offense to that, basically. And so I know Hart was joking around a little bit, but I mean, sadly, it happened. The other aspect is I was talking about the fact that I already knew Oklahoma was going to sweep the Lakers unless James did something. LeBron would have done something, and he didn't. And reality is, I knew that. So the question is like, and I was saying in the prior video, or that video basically, which was where the mic wasn't working, as I was saying, basically to the point where I don't want to look to the future, but I'm falling into that trap. Whoever it is, whether it be Cleveland or whether it be Detroit, it's the Knicks most likely going to go to the finals. I'm looking towards the finals, more towards Oklahoma, because I know the San Antonio Spurs, Wemby basically is easy to get under his skin. Let's be honest, it's one of those things where it'd be great if the Knicks were to go against the Spurs, because in that situation, they could definitely get under Wemby's skin at that point. And quite honestly, Mitch Robinson probably could do something to the point like they both can cancel each other out and basically be out for the series. And if that's the case, then the Knicks have a definite shot of winning the championship at that point. But looking at it, the way Oklahoma is playing right now, I don't see them losing to the Spurs. The question is, with the Knicks, who are they going to play against in the next round of the Eastern Conference Finals? It's hard to say, honestly, because right now I would say I would be hoping for Cleveland, but I think I want Detroit more so to the fact is like we're seeing what Detroit's deficiency is, basically. And that is the case of Cade Cunningham can't do it on himself. They don't have a true secondary scorer. So if the Knicks can just contain everyone else and just let Cade try to beat him, fine. Because like Cade Cunningham cannot do it on his own. Like we've seen it with Brunson. Now, granted, if the Knicks were going to go against the Cavs, my concern is Donovan Mitchell is going to be pissed off the way he's lost to the Knicks year in, year out, specifically to Brunson. He's going to go all out or try to go all out. But the thing is, now that he has Harden by him in the backcourt, it's going to be very tricky at that point. And like, let's be honest, Donovan Mitchell is a very tricky, slicky person, basically. And I don't think anyone there can contain him. And with Harden, definitely got a trickster at that point. Because quite honestly, the Knicks have always had issues with Harden. I don't think they'll be able to contain him, even at his age. They will have a hard time containing him. Hart can try as best as he wants. My thing is, Hart's probably going to fall into foul trouble at that point. And the thing is, both with Detroit and the Cleveland Cavaliers, they probably know that what the best way for the Knicks not for them to beat the Knicks is basically get Karl Anthony Towns into early foul trouble and essentially get OG Anunoby out of the game, because those two out of the game, it plays a big factor. Because quite honestly, as we saw in this game as well, this series as well too, the way the Knicks are going to win this basically is if Mikal Bridges, who's the X factor, if he can score 20 points each game, that means basically the Knicks should have a higher probability of winning, because if he's scoring 20 at that point, that's most likely meaning Brunson and Cat are basically scoring over 20 at that point. If they're scoring 20, OG is most likely scoring 20 at that point as well too. And if all four of them are scoring 20, that's 80 points right there. If the minimum of 20 points, so like that gives the Knicks a best, really good shot at winning that series, depending who it is. Now with the Cavs, Mobley could take out, Cat at that point, where, like they try to get him into early foul trouble from that perspective, and it might happen. But the thing is like Karl Anthony Towns, he's become that true point center, which is really surprising. That I never saw that. I never saw that he had that capability. I never thought he had that capability. I mean, I haven't not even see it, but I never thought he had it. Seeing what he was doing during the series, especially with Atlanta, and then with the Phillies, especially with the Sixers, especially what he did in Game 4 as well too. I mean, I didn't think the Knicks were gonna win Game 4 by that much. Honestly, that was like a surprise in and of itself. So look for the Knicks. The way to win, basically, to get to the finals, is for basically Mikal Bridges. I think Mikal Bridges becomes a crucial factor in this. Now, them going against Oklahoma, I don't think the Knicks are going to win against Oklahoma. Let's be honest, they're not geared to beat Oklahoma. The Celtics were geared to build and built to build Oklahoma, to beat Oklahoma. I mean, sorry. So the Knicks don't have that capability. Brunson, as much as he could do, if he gets him to the finals, I'll be more happy. He's elevated to tier 1 at that point. He's definitely elevated to tier 1 at that point. If they win, oh well, the Knicks will become gods at that point. Like Brunson will become the greatest Knick of all time, practically. Karl Anthony Towns will become more popular than Patrick Ewing. And if Mikal Bridges keeps doing what he's doing, he'll become more popular than Walt the Glide, Clyde Frazier. Not Walt Frazier, but Clyde Frazier, basically, at that point. But time will tell. Let's see what happens. Because the thing is, I'm falling into that trap, unfortunately, as well, too, while looking ahead. And this is what happened with the Knicks for the past 2 years. They're always looking ahead past the Indiana Pacers. And what happens? They would lose to the Indiana Pacers. I'm hoping that's not the case in this situation, especially if they go against Detroit. I hope they don't look past them. And if they're going against Cleveland, I'm praying that they don't look past them as well too, because like these are two very dangerous teams. The one thing is, I think Detroit, we have a more better shot of winning, because the playoffs are showing what the weakness is for the Pistons, and that is the fact is like Cade Cunningham cannot be the only lone scorer. If you cut everyone else out, then you pretty much can beat Detroit at that point, and that's what Cleveland's showing at this point as well too. Cade Cunningham surprisingly is doing really well, and you'd be surprised. I'm surprised to see that this is a guy that's probably going to be elevated to superstar status at this point, honestly, because like if it's just him, he's at that level where like he's elevated the team to where he's at, and like him and Donovan Mitchell are those stars, honestly. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. You agree, disagree, whatever it may be. It's up to you. But all I gotta say is one thing and one thing only: go New York, go New York, go. I forgot the rest of the lyrics, but with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.